Hip Hop News Uncensored. We're split screen today, and I'll let the brothers introduce themselves.
Well, what it do was good. It's your brother SamAnt, Viral Hip Hop News. You're in the building for another episode of the Uncensored podcast. We got a very special guest. Can't wait to get this brother on here. We've been talking about him for a couple days now. Financial guru, our man, Chicago's own brother Kansu. What's good with you, family? Peace to you.
Man, peace and power, everybody out there. Kansu Shashmi Aboriginal Consulting Corporation, insurance enterprises LLC, real estate company. Yes, most definitely, man. Been wanting to talk about the situation for a few days.
Yes, sir. Well, we know just recently in the news, the 360 conversation, has came back up. And this is by way of Hot 97's DJ Funk Flex, pretty much went on a rant coming at Dame Dash, pretty much said that the man who created the 360 deal, Lyor Cohen, if it wasn't for him, that Rockefeller, pretty much he saved Rockefeller from a grave, as well as other people. So this is where you come in, because I've seen people even making videos, saying that 360 is not that bad. It depends, this, that. So we wanted to bring somebody in who knows. I don't know a lot about it. I know a little bit, but you know a lot about it. So we kind of want to get into the mechanics of the 360 deal and just, talk about, is this good or bad? Because it's different. A lot of people say a lot of different things. So I'm going to let Brother Kansu, break it down from the inception. Microphone is yours, brother.
Yeah, man. If I had an opportunity, if I had a perfect, if I could just snap my fingers and make things happen, man, I would kill the 360, obliterate it to the heavens, because it's a horrible, horrible, horrible entity. The 360 deal and Lyor Cohen, they created it out of merchandising. They had to find a way to monetize a musical performance and get the most out of it. Make the most money. How can we make the most money without exuding the most overhead? How can we make the most money without having to invest in the artist? What if the artist is okay and they could generate at least one hit? We can optimize that money, and we can always guarantee that we get our rate of return on investment. That's what the 360 deal does. I really, really do appreciate Dame Dash, man. Dame Dash and what he's talking about right now. Artists, up-and-coming artists that follow this show and other platforms like it, stop signing the labels. Flat out, period. Record labels are dead. I can say this. I know it's a lot of artists that probably want to say it and don't say it. Stop signing the artists, number one. Stop signing the artists who start labels, because they're worse than Lyor Cohen. But we won't even go there. They're worse than Lyor Cohen. You are your own label. You can have your own label from your kitchen. Okay, it's 2019. You can have your own production studio, your own distribution center, your own publicist. You can be your own manager. You don't need any of those peripherals to cut out of your pie, your economic pie. And this is what Dame Dash was trying to express. I would rather be $1 million boss than a $14 million employee, because the 360 can generate funds, but the funds are allocated before you have the ability to net those funds, to take that money in. You have to be accountable for it first. There's a thing called account payable and accounts receivable. You have to be liable for money loaned to you on the premise of capital gain. So if I'm the record label and I offer you a 360, that means that I'm taking a piece of your performance. Not only am I taking your production, the end result, I'm taking your ingenuity. I'm taking whatever you may write in the future. I'm taking any collaborative efforts that you may have. Me and God may meet up and say, man, I got a hot concept for a single, but my label is going to have to take 25% of what me and you do. And God is going, but hell, I'm not signing your label. Why should I suffer? So what ends up happening is me being tied into the 360 I got to give up more percentage just to bring OGOD in, because I got to go to my label and ask permission for OGOD to come and do a collabo with me on something that me and him created. This is what the 360 creates. And what the situation with Dame and Live Cohen really represents is the systematic oppression that is being done in hip hop. I'm not talking about any other genre. I'm talking about hip hop, man. Hip hop is a fairly new industry that has taken over the music industry. It's bigger than pop. It's bigger than rock. It's bigger than heavy metal. It's bigger than any other genre right now. It's been that way going on 15 years strong. And so when young Black children come along and they bring the gift of hip hop to music, and you have someone outside of your culture that's manipulating and marketing your music under what's considered distribution, and then turns around and says, I want 360 degrees of everything that you produce in your musical career, it's absolutely criminal, man. It's criminal. And I'm so fortunate to witness this changing, man. I'm fortunate to witness the music industry becoming a free market industry. People like Travis Scott that are changing the way that artists are being paid is extremely important. Video personalities, they have to maintain some type of brand. And that's just an employee move, man. He's trying to stay relevant, that's all. But it's very tasteless.
Right. What do you think of the Rockefeller split? Because you talked earlier about, how Rockefeller, how they seen it early, with their business structure. But then you have, when they were like at a high, they had all these groups, Dipset. We remember all the groups they had. They were doing well as a label.
Yeah.
Why would you think that Jay-Z would split away from that and move on? What do you think about that when that whole thing happened, the whole Rockefeller split? What's your opinion on that?
Man, it's funny you asked a good question. I was really hurt by it.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in hip hop. So, even though I'm in this square world of wealth advisory, I'm still a hip hop kid at heart, and it broke my heart because Rockefeller did it right. They had a conglomerative machine that was producing quality talent, and it was just it was very well put together, very well done. They broke the mold with. They showed everybody this is how you deal with a label, guys. This is how you approach a label. And when they dissolved like that, it really, really hurt the industry. And if you pay attention to the hip hop industry, and I mean Rockefeller specifically, when they dissolved, it became this 360 fend for yourself type of situation, man, because they had it at such a high level that you would not see this again. Labels were not going to put themselves in that position again. They were not going to go into a partnership agreement with contingencies with quote unquote artists. They just didn't happen anymore. You didn't see it anymore. But what it also taught, what it gave birth to people like Travis Scott. And I mentioned his name before. He's doing something that's innovative. He's marketing his music through merchandise, which translates to sales, which put him at the top of the charts. And that's very, very ingenious, where he was able to control the politics that control that Billboard chart. That Billboard chart relates to how you're getting paid and how promoters see and view you and how talent agencies book you. They use the Billboard charts just like the credit. Your personal credit is looked at by Dun & Bradstreet or TransUnion and Equifax. Well, that's Billboard in the music industry. If you top 25, they automatically put you at a certain pay rate. And Travis Scott shot up there by marketing his music through his merchandise. That was very innovative. That was a Rockefeller move. Because remember, Rockefeller had clothing, they had movies, they had all this these peripheral things that were fueling the artists and pushing the artists. And then you start giving birth to, they gave birth to a 50 Cent. If it wasn't for a Rockefeller blueprint, there would have been no 50 Cent. There wouldn't have been none of that. You know, he wouldn't have had the ability to market peripherally with his music. So Rockefeller, man, did some amazing, amazing things in music industry.
Right.